Was born in Baler, Tayabas, now the Aurora province. Doña Aurora stayed in the background during her husband's political life, involving herself with women's organizations such as the National Federation of Women's Club, of which she was the honorary chairman. As the first presidential couple to reside in Malacanang, First Lady Aurora spent as little time as possible there, preferring to stay in a nipa house in Malacanang Park in her farm Kalaydan in Arayat, Pampanga. Still, she was an active First Lady, engaging herself in the campaign to give Filipino women the rights of suffrage, which was achieved in 1937. She was involved in the Girl Scouts of the Philippines and the Asociación de Damas Filipinas, a noted orphanage in Manila, honorary president of another orphanage, the White Cross, located in San Juan. She accompanied her husband to Corregidor in December 1941, where Quezon was inaugurated to a second term as president, being sworn in by Chief Justice Jose Abad Santos on December 30 of 1941. The first family began their long journey to escape the Japanese invaders in February 1942 and finally reached the United States in June of the same year. While in the U.S., she devoted her time to care of her ailing husband, who died in Saranac, New York, from tuberculosis on August 1 of 1944. Mrs. Quezon then moved to California to await the return to the Philippines, and she and her daughters volunteered as nurses for the Red Cross. She served as the first chairperson of the Philippine National Red Cross when it was established as an independent Red Cross organization in 1947 and held the position until her death. She was also named as honorary vice president of the Philippine Tuberculosis Society. She continued to be involved in civic work such as the efforts to rebuild the Antipolo Church. She received honorary doctorates from the University of Santo Tomas and the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor. She was likewise bestowed the Ozanam Award from the Ateneo de Manila University and the Pro Ecclesia et Pontifice Cross from the Pope Pius VII. On April 28, 1949, as she was on her way to inaugurate the Quezon Memorial Hospital in her hometown of Baler, Aurora, Quezon, her eldest daughter, Maria Aurora, son-in-law, Felipe Buencamino III, Quezon City Mayor Ponciano Bernardo, and several others were ambushed and killed by renegade members of the Balahap in Bungabon, Nueva Ecija. She was survived by her daughter, Maria Zineida, who remarried later on and became Mrs. Avancenia, and her son Manuel Jr., her youngest daughter Luisa Corazon Paz, had died as a baby. Aurora Boulevard in Quezon City was named in her honor in 1951, and in the same year, President Quirino created the Aurora Sub-Province comprising Baler and surrounding areas in Quezon Province. In 1979, Aurora became a separate province, and in 2003, her remains were interred by the Philippine government in Quezon Memorial Shrine near her husband's tomb. The concerned women of the Philippines have named the Aurora Aragon Quezon Peace Award after Mrs. Quezon to remind people of the fact that in times of violence, the first to suffer are the innocent. Palakpakan po natin si Doña Aurora Aragon Quezon. At sa pagpapatuloy po, tinatawagan po natin ang